the Lancashire Academy, and what promises to be a most rousing occasion. New Zealand commence a 9-match tour, which includes 2 tests against the best youngsters Great Britain can offer, the first of which is at Wembley Stadium. We look forward to the action tonight. Shall we take a look at the 2 sides? Number 1 for Lancashire, Easton Harris, Warrington boy. Rob Scaife at 2 from Salford. Wigan centre, Martin Hope. John Roper from Warrington is number 4. 5, Andy Haig, St Helens. 6, Scott Martin from Lee. Joe McAtee, team captain, is at 7. 8, Scott Walker from Widnes. Paul Rowley at 9 from Lee. John Eastwood, a St Helens lad, at number 10. 11 is Simon Baldwin from Lee. 12 is Simon Horton. And 13, Mike Wainwright. Substitutes are Andy Craig, Steve Barrow, Glyn Davis and Richard Shield. The junior Kiwis, number 1 team captain is Henry Paul. 2, Alex Chan. The centres are Tavita Vaikona and number 4, Gus Brown. 5 is Peter Lima. 6, Meti Nuveo. 7, Willie Swan. 8, Bill Weepew. 9, Nick Bean. 10, David Fatialofa. 11, Joe Vagana. 12, Vilai Calameti. And 13, Chris Faifoa. So, set up quite nicely for this evening's big game. St Helens Academy, or should I say Lancashire Academy? I'm a little bit confused there. Lancashire Academy, let me reiterate, taking on the New Zealand Academy this evening. And the Kiwis started this tour off in astonishing form last Thursday evening when they took on a very powerful Hull Academy side and defeated them 72-2. Now then, let's just enjoy this, shall we? The war cries of the junior Kiwis, and Lancashire, without question, this evening are going to be up against a very, very strong outfit indeed. And we look forward to this one. Obviously, the Lancashire players will be keen to make their mark this evening with the Great Britain Academy test coming up. Of course, the first one to be held as a curtain raiser to the full international match, Great Britain-New Zealand. So plenty to play for this evening for the Lancashire Academy, and Easton Harris will get this one underway for us. Play taken up there by Chris Faifoa. Good defence coming in from Scott Martin, Lee lad. Barging run coming in from Fatialofa. And an early offside, says referee Paul Grimshaw from Manchester. Willie Swan will hand the ball to Nuveo. He will find touch, so an attacking opportunity early on here for the New Zealand side. And certainly a very, very big side indeed. Well, wonderful, strong barging work coming in from Fatialofa. Bean in support. He will feed Weepew. And yet again, the Lancashire side find themselves caught offside. And it seems team captain Henry Paul will decide, shall we go for a couple of early points? So the opening minute here this evening at Knowsley Road. Scoreline at this point, Lancashire 0, New Zealand 0. But with the conversion attempt to come, it could well be 2-0 before very long. So it will be Henry Paul to take the kick for the Kiwis. He'll step up, strikes the ball well and true. And Henry Paul, the team captain, will make the scoreline 2-0, an early score for the Kiwis. Couple of minutes on the clock, early views now from Ron Hoof.
Yes, thanks, Neil. Yeah, as you said, Neil, a big side. Certainly, they're going to have to be tackled in numbers, but 2 early penalties there by referee Grimshaw, obviously making his mark on the game early and telling both sides what he wants, but it's the Lancashire side he's penalised twice. That was 2 penalties against Lancashire within a minute and a half. But that one, as you said, converted by Henry Paul, who is the captain. And obviously, we must apologise if any of the pronunciations are not up to the mark with some of the New Zealand names, but we'll do our best in typical Lancashire style. But Lancashire kick-off, New Zealand play the ball, the junior Kiwis. I think they're about under 19 these, Neil, but there's some big lads, isn't there, you know, and they're going to take some pulling down. They've got possession, they're driving the ball up, and there's another barging run there. Excellent work. Strong lads pumping the ball up, play for each other. As Neil said earlier, a 70-point gap, 72-2, they won at Hull last week, and they certainly need some watching. But early minutes yet, 2 points on the board. Big prop forward there, Joe Vagana, barging his way through. Quick play the ball now, and the Kiwis move it right. Vacona, he's looking for support. He tries to bring on his wingman Alex Chan, but it goes into touch. It's going to be a scrum down with a Lancashire feed. Let's hope Lancashire can get the ball and have a first real touch with a first set of 6, Neil.
So without question, this one is going to be a stern test for the Lancashire side. Already on this tour, proved the worth. The last time they were over here in '87, they were undefeated. And quite evidently, a very strong side indeed for the Lancashire lads to take on this evening. Here's John McAtee. Play taken up by Scaife, or rather, Easton Harris. Defensive work coming in from the New Zealand duo. Well, holding down in the tackle, presumably from the referee. Indeed so. Mr. Grimshaw proves me correct. It will be a penalty to Lancashire, and quite a decent crowd building up here this evening to see the Lancashire Academy take on this Kiwi touring side. Oh, wonderful defensive work coming in from Kalamete. This is John Eastwood. And again, good defence. Weepu. McAtee, good work. Flicking the ball out wide. This is good play. Lancashire didn't quite get away. Good tackle coming in from Vicona. Quick play the ball. Easton Harris moving now for Lancashire. Paul Rowley starts the operation. Flicks the ball to McAtee. Referee suggesting a forward pass. Perhaps it was debatable, but a scrum down nonetheless. And it will be Willie Swan to feed the scrum here for the Kiwis. Comes away. Immediately brought to ground. 5 forward, strong barging run forward. John McAtee is the man to bring him down. Pace being offered by Vagana. And it seems John Roper is going to receive a speaking to here. A little bit of a lecture. Well, you can almost lip read, can't you? Calming things down. Another penalty to the Kiwis on the halfway mark. Here we go, strong work coming in, no doubt, in the shape of Kalamete. Brought down well. by Eastwood and Co. This is Fatia Lofa. Nick Bean awaits. So early pressure coming in from the Kiwis this evening. Hardly surprising. Break coming in here. Weepu eventually brought to ground a wonderful strong work. Referee sees another infringement. And it's a St Helen, good grief, I do apologise about referring to St Helen so much, but it's a Lancashire scrum down. John McAtee will feed the scrum, and he will come away with the ball. And Scott Martin taking play up for St Helens. This is John McAtee again. Again, so quick to seize on any offence offered. The Kiwis are very alert, very quick and very powerful indeed, as that tackle clearly emphasised. McAtee again, he'll be looking for a big one this evening. Simon Horton is brought down, the ball flicked back. The kick coming in from Harris, clearing the ranks, offers St Helens, oh good gracious me, offers Lancashire an opportunity to come forward here. Henry Paul. And again, good strong work coming in from Peter Lima. Takes play inside the Lancashire half of the field. Good pace offered here by Fatia Lofa, eventually stopped in his tracks, but they're making quality yards every time they get an opportunity, the Kiwis. Good defence coming in there from Paul Rowley. He brings his opposite number, Nick Bean, down. But again, wonderful sweeping, fluent play this from the Kiwis. Henry Paul with some space, flicks the ball out to Vicona. Vicona back inside, this is a beautiful play. Alex Chan eventually stopped in his tracks. It will be the handover, thank goodness for that. And Lancashire, in the shape of Andy Haig, will come forward. McAtee. Wainwright is brought down. This is John Eastwood. And again, good defensive work coming in from the New Zealand side. Gameplay sweeping from left to right. This is Scott Martin. Martin brought to ground by Kalamete. Nice stuff, lovely ball. An opportunity there for John Roper to show some pace. He was brought to ground, however, by Bill Weepu. A little bit of mouthing off to the referee, it seems, and the Lancashire Academy will make themselves some further yards. And will take a pot at goal. So, we have 10 minutes on the clock. Lancashire 0. And New Zealand 2. Here's a good opportunity for Easton Harris to level the scores. And this certainly is a very good opportunity for us to assess the progress made by the English academy scene, or British perhaps, should I say, because this evening they're coming up against perhaps the best junior side in the world. Can Easton Harris level the scores? Well, he struck it well. Online. That's a good score for Lancashire. That will settle the nerves somewhat. So their first opportunity, one of the first ventures, in fact, into the Kiwi half of the field. And Lancashire put themselves back on level terms in this one. Henry Paul will resume affairs. Offers a deep kick. Good strong run coming in from Simon Baldwin. Rowley involved, McAtee involved. This is Eastwood. Rowley. Oh, well. Tremendous defence from Fifoa and Vagana. McAtee sweeping ball out wide. Andy Haig, an opportunity here to show some pace. Immediately wrapped up by Alex Chan. McAtee, lovely dummy, flicks the ball out wide. Good stuff. Referee not happy, it seems, with the... Well, I thought it was initially the challenge, but it seems a knock on there. So, unfortunate that, because Lancashire certainly getting into some sort of pattern, some sort of attacking pattern there. Held up by the infringement. This is Brown, inside the Lancashire half. He stays there, eventually brought to ground by Mike Wainwright. Bean opening the operation. This is Fifoa again. Good defence from Lancashire, settling down to the task at hand. Big run coming in from Kelamete. He's featured certainly in the early stages of this one. Bean again. Fluid. Ball goes to ground, eventually gathered by Nick Bean. Swan involved. Team captain Paul. Been offered a certain amount of space to operate here, the New Zealand side. They'll certainly appreciate that. Brown is eventually brought to ground. The play now moves from right to left. Sweeping play, lovely kick through from Henry Paul. Gathered well at the back by Rob Scaife of Salford. And St Helens can move forward now and offer some offence.
Yes, very unlucky the Kiwis just earlier on, Neil, that they should have gone in the corner here with Henry Paul with a two-man overlap. And then Lancashire come up the other end, get a penalty award, rightly so. Obviously the referee's brushed up on his Maori because one of the prop forward Weepu, he said something out of turn, and Lancashire come up with 2 points. They've got possession now. It's the sixth tattle. The kick's going to go upfield. It's full-back Yestin Harris to put pressure on his opposite number, Henry Paul. But it's going, will it find touch on the far side? No, Henry Paul just keeps it in the field of play. But obviously the referee ruling that Lancashire were offside. I mean, a lot of the times, I mean, far be it from me, Neil, for sitting on the fence. I'm not renowned for sitting on the fence. But you get these two are inside. It happens in the senior game. And the referee, they just seem to bend over backwards to the tourists. I do believe in fair play, obviously. He's penalised Lancashire a couple of times for forward passes. McAtee just in front of us before when he was changing direction of play. And in my opinion, they weren't forward passes. But on that occasion, there is penalised Lancashire for offside. I suppose it's just something you've got to put up with. You've just got to buckle down and get into the job. This fella, Paul Grimshaw, I've never heard of him before, from Manchester. But obviously, he's doing his best, and we'll just have to put up with it, won't we? But the tourists have the possession. The scores are all level, 2 points each. Still a good game, still tightly contested, 15 minutes gone. And all the Lancashire have got to do is just, as the Kiwis are doing, press up, play them at their own game, follow it, break it through quickly, press up at the tackle, and let the ball do the job. The referee's in again, obviously for holding down in the tackle, I feel. Quickly in the referee, nothing in that at all. The man coming through, they're that big, these Kiwis. It takes 2 and 3 of them to pull them down. But the referee taking exception to the tackle instead of trying to let the game flow. He just finds touch there, and now the Kiwis in a good attacking position in the 20-metre area. Prop forward Fatty Loafer coming through, and he's penalised Lancashire for offside again. Instead of letting the game flow, Mr Grimshaw penalises Lancashire again. And now it's Kelamete, big second row forward, driving it forward. Nick Byrne attacked in half-back. Looking to spread it left, he does so. Lively full-back, Willie Swan, out to Vagana. Vagana driving for the line, he's in. He throws the ball up in the air with delight. Obviously good work for the Kiwis. They're extremely pleased with scoring the first try after 17 minutes. But the referee penalising Lancashire twice in quick succession, and obviously they just couldn't hold these big fellas out right in front of the sticks. Vagana scores the first try and extends New Zealand lead to 6 points to 0, and this kick surely just a formality, Neil. But I do think the referee's just leaning a little bit to the Kiwis.
Ominous signs, it must be said. A wonderful score coming in for Joe Vagana, making the scoreline 6 points to 2. I would presume that Henry Paul will safely clip this one away to make it 8 points to 2. Online, and Lancashire now find themselves 6 points in arrears. And certainly not the most ideal conditions this evening for rugby league. It's certainly still and it's calm, but there is quite an amount of rain coming down this evening. And indeed it has been raining in St Helens for a predominant part of the afternoon and evening. So, slippery conditions. Who will be able to combat that problem the better? At the moment, it's the Kiwis. And the kick-off from Harris. And again, grim determination on the face of this marauding Kiwi side. This is Brown, he's brought to ground. Vagana, try scorer. Absolutely no love lost in that encounter. It'll be Bean to start the operation here. Flicks the ball to his team captain, Henry Paul. Henry Paul will knock the ball all the way down to Harris. Harris will take play up, move forward. Again, good defensive work coming in from Fatialofa. Haig. Not being given any opportunity whatsoever at this point, Andy Haig, to offer some pace. This is Rowley. And again, wonderful defence, Vicona. McAtee. Eastwood. Offloads in the tackle, good stuff. McAtee in good support. Ball flicked out wide, knock on Rob Scaife. Well, a pattern is certainly emerging in this one. Lancashire under a tremendous amount of pressure, it must be said, not really offering too much fluency. And New Zealand certainly appreciating that. Ball comes away in the shape of Swan, good fluent movement again, wonderful stuff this. Paul offers the ball inside, this is Nuveo. It'll be Vicona to take play up, seizes on it immediately, flicks the ball out to his flanker Chan. And a forward pass. Ironic cheers from the crowd here this evening. Well, it's gone a little bit untidy. The referee has seen some problem here. John McAtee pushing away his opposite number, Willie Swan, with some contempt. Play comes away. And again, wonderful defence. Fifoa. McAtee again. This is John Roper. Almost found the break there. McAtee. Well, not the greatest pass in the world, it must be said. Another knock-on, and really finding it very difficult indeed to get things moving this evening. The Lancashire outfit. And again, a very dangerous position this now for the Kiwis to operate from. So, infringement in the scrum. And Harris will relieve the pressure somewhat. There was certainly danger offered there if that had gone according to plan. It didn't, and some relief for the Lancashire side. So, play taken up to the halfway mark. Rowley commences a new operation for Lancashire. Scott Walker, and look at that defence. Superb play. Rowley again. Roper involved with McAtee. Tremendous tackling. Again, Fifoa involved. Offside yet again, and this is a promising position for Lancashire. And unless I'm very much mistaken, yes, it's going to be an attempt on a couple of points. Lancashire obviously realising they want to keep in touch. 23 on the clock. Lancashire 2, New Zealand 8. Still very much in contention. Not offered a great deal in offence at this point, the Lancashire side. But respectability is, I suppose, the order of the day at this point. And 4 points to 8 if this goes over is a most promising situation. One would hope. It's going to be most fascinating to see these Kiwis in action at Wembley Stadium come October 16 for the Academy Test match against the very best that Britain can offer in the youth ranks. Kick comes in from Harris. Online again, encouraging stuff.
Lancashire 4, New Zealand 8.
So not having things entirely their own way at the moment, the Kiwis. Paul will commence the action again. Simon Baldwin taking play up for Lancashire. This is Harris. Well, yeah, I think it did look a little bit high. The referee is clamping down on this one, having a word with Nick Behan. Team captain Henry Paul pops onto the scene to find out what the problem is. And I think the referee is probably saying, look, I'm in charge here. Leave it to me. And Henry Paul will have none of it, it seems. Well, the inquest continues here. Somewhat unnecessary, it must be said. And the referee eventually decides, let's have a penalty, Lancashire. Let's get on with things. This is Harris. Now then, some space for Lancashire to operate in there. That is encouraging stuff. Rowley plays the ball to Horton. Horton's brought down. Gaining in confidence, the Lancashire side. McAtee flings the ball to Roper. Roper keeps hold. Good ball. Rowley involved, plays the ball to Wainwright. Wainwright pops it inside to John Eastwood. Eastwood really shouldn't have offered the pass there. There was no support whatsoever. And gathered by Bill Weepu. So good defensive work there coming in for Lancashire. Play taken up here by Kelemete. And the referee blowing his whistle with some passion there. Side some good yards. So here we go again. Fatialofa moving forward. Good defence coming in for the Lancashire side. Nick Behan takes play up, offers the ball to Kelemete. Kelemete moving forward with some strength. Behan. And again, rather fortunate. It seems a knock-on because there were certainly gaps there for the New Zealand side to exploit. 27 on the clock. Lancashire 4, New Zealand 8.
Yes, and John McAtee feeds the ball. Lancashire have scrum possession, but yet another player being brought out, Chris 5-4, the loose forward. And it's up to McAtee and Martin to obviously get things organised midfield and get the balls out to Wainwright, the loose forward, get some peppering into this Kiwi defence. It's a penalty to the Kiwis, to Lancashire, I beg your pardon. The Kiwis being penalised there. Christopher Ford, the loose forward. But Neil earlier on, he was on about Lancashire, obviously not having much fluent play. Well, you can only be as fluent as the man in the middle of the let you, can't you? And unfortunately, he's been penalising Lancashire a little bit harshly, in my unbiased opinion. But Lancashire have possession now, a good attacking position, 30 metres from the Kiwis line. 8 points to 4 they trail. A try, a goal and a penalty goal against 2 penalty goals for Lancashire. And let's see if we can just build up and hopefully penetrate this tight defence and cross the line. Well, we won't be doing it with passes like that. The idea was right, the run-around movement there, but unfortunately didn't come off. And a player there just losing the ball, Simon Baldwin, had an excellent game, drove well into the Kiwis, but they have possession now. It's moved centre field, Vagana, big second row forward. The senior Kiwis are over here now, and these lads here, you can bet some of these will be here the next time, in another 4 years or so. Only they might be over here for the centenary in 1995. Some big strong lads. Oh, good tackling there by Lancashire. Loose play by the Kiwis. Lancashire come up with it. John Roper, the centre from Warrington there. Andy Haig on the wing with him. Some plays for St Helens now, but just signed from Crossfields. There's Paul Rowley, live wire hooker, moves it upfield. Now it's Scott Martin. He has to take the tackle. Good, solid tackling. Calametti comes in. Lancashire have got to throw this ball about. Well, that's a flopper. That is, well, the man going in as the flopper and the referee ruling that the ball was knocked forward. I think it was Martin Hope that actually was accused of knocking the ball forward. But an extra Kiwi man came in. Maybe he came in to get the ball. He saw it was loose. Obviously just out of our angle. But the Kiwis come up with ball possession. The scrum half, Willis Swan, bounces off the first line of defence. Lancashire will have to regroup now. Some good running here. Chris 5-4. 15 metres short of the Lancashire line. Midfield. Moving it right. Prop forward, Fatih Alofa. He's brought down within 5 metres. Hooker, Byrne, attacked in half-back. Now it's Vagana again. Can he stretch? Yes, he's over again. A good driving run from Vagana, and he certainly takes some pulling down, this lad. Good driving run, good backing up by the Kiwis, and unfortunately again Neil Vagana goes over. They just couldn't hold him at close range.
A promising prospect indeed. And Mr. Vagana seems. A couple of tries already this evening. He's got some pace and he's got some strength. And he has put his side 12 points to 4 to the good. And when they get in that 20, there is supreme danger for the Lancashire outfit. And doesn't bode well. 31 on the clock, 12-4. Henry Paul takes the kick. No problem whatsoever.
New Zealand 14.
14-4. Still in contention, Lancashire, if they can start to offer some offence and try and penetrate this most impressive Kiwi defensive line. Well, you never know. 32 on the clock. Easton Harris will recommence affairs. gathered with, oh well, what a massive tackle coming in there. Big stuff. Big pace offered, good tackle. Andy Haig. His opposite number, Peter Lima, brought to ground with a thud. Play taken up by Vagana, being in support. And if Lancashire can keep them in this half of the field, it will be a very good sign. Well, a knock-on coming in. That will do very nicely indeed. Andy Haig will gather. Seems like Nick Bean considered having a swipe there. Didn't quite come off. Oh, here we go. Haig cuts inside. Oh, good break, Andy Haig. The first opportunity he had, Vagana was the man to halt the operation, but this is good stuff. Eastwood. The first time really Lancashire have offered any sort of offence in a position of danger. McAtee, a lot of space. Well, not quite coming off there. The ball knocked on. And, well, a few stirs and what have you coming in there. I think that will end that little problem. Referee will say, let's have a scrum down. Good opportunity now for Lancashire. Martin. Such keen defence. John McAtee ready to create something here. Well, that's clever. Harris. McAtee again. Plenty of room to operate, but the blanket moves in. Oh, very close indeed. Good break, Mike Wainwright. Promising stuff this. Rowley. McAtee. Still going. Oh, unlucky. Simon Baldwin could not gather the pass. That really would have been a wonderful time to pop a try in with just 5 minutes remaining to the interval. As the rain continues to sweep down. Which certainly will not help matters as far as handling goes. Play brought up there by Fifoa. The ball's now with team captain Henry Paul. Flicks the ball out wide. And a good tackle coming in from Scaife. It needed to be good. Peter Lima had some space to operate there. Very solid looking winger. And again, strong work coming in from Fatialofa. Play just inside the Lancashire half of the field. And again, good break coming in from prop forward Weepu. A flailing boot there, caught Rowley. No offence. Well, the kick didn't come off. And very well gathered by Simon Baldwin. McAtee. Very quick tackling coming in. The referee, I think, will suggest that that was a attempt at a spear tackle. I would debate that myself, but again, Henry Paul gets involved in the meeting. Willie Swan and Nuveo involved also. Well, there it is, spear tackle. And Harris will take this opportunity to move forward. Good work from Harris inside the New Zealand half. And this is starting to look like a decent performance from the Lancashire side. Little bit of indiscipline coming in now from the New Zealanders. And with a passionate audience behind them, Lancashire now coming forward and offering some danger. And certainly at this point, just 10 points in it, 3 remaining minutes in the first half. Well, it seems we're going to have another attempt at a conversion. Not a bad idea. It certainly keeps the Lancashire side in contention at this point. .37 on the clock. Harris will attempt to add another to his already 2 out of 2 record. And this would offer some encouragement to the Lancashire side. No, not online.
The penalty for Lancashire by number 1, Yestin Harris. Lancashire 6, New Zealand 14.
So just 8 points in it now. Lancashire 6, New Zealand 14. To take you up to the interval, here's Ron Hoof.
Thanks, Neil. Yes, I thought really that Lancashire may have played it quickly and opted to try and get the try and more points, but obviously they didn't. Well, a good break here now. Yestin Harris. Really surprised to see him playing tonight because he's been called up for the senior squad, which take on the senior Kiwis in Swansea this coming Sunday. But he's having an excellent game. John Eastwood, he drives the ball up. I think Lancashire were on a bit of a roll coming up here. I thought, as I said, they might have gone for it. They didn't. Trailing just by 8. Young McAtee trying to get things going. I thought Lancashire as well were extremely unlucky just a few minutes earlier when Baldwin went over for what I would consider a try. After Lancashire had been awarded another 6 tackles, a chip kicked through there by John Roper, but he doesn't get the favourable bounce. The Kiwis come up with it. As I say, Lancashire had another set of 6. The ball was lobbed out by McAtee. It touched Baldwin. It dropped it onto his feet, followed it over, but the referee ruled a knock-on. But anyway, Alex Chan from the right wing on to the left wing there, Peter Lima. And he's hurrying down the wing. Can he be stopped? Can he be forced into touch? Well, they can. Excellent tackling, but good driving from the Kiwis. They certainly throw it about a bit. And there's the half-time hooter bang on the 40 minutes. Lancashire trailing 14 points to 6 at half-time. 3 penalty goals by Harris, with 2 Vagana tries, 2 conversions by Paul and a penalty goal. So half-time here at Nosey Road St Helens. Lancashire Academy trail 14 points to 6. I'm sure that the Lancashire coach, Chris Middlehurst, will have a tentative team talk at half-time. The Kiwis coach, Frank Endicott, he'll be pleased with his side. Only 2 short-range tries for the Kiwis, right in front of the sticks, but they all count. And let's see how we go for the second half. Join us shortly.
So the second half about to resume here at Knowsley Road this evening. Richard Shield has taken his place in the action, replacing his St Helens teammate John Eastwood. So Richard Shield has been playing some marvellous rugby for the St Helens Academy side. What can he do here against this very powerful Kiwi outfit? We shall see. Well, immediately involved in the action is Richard Shield. But forward comes Nick Behan for the Kiwis. Henry Vagana again. He will have to be marshalled well. This is Behan again. Flicks the ball to Kelamete. Well, a knock-on. And the referee quick to seize on that one. A little bit of mouthing and a penalty for the Lancashire Academy side. So a little bit of encouragement in the early stages of the second half. Now then, Paul Rowley commences the operation. McAtee involved. Wainwright moving forward. Good defensive work coming in from the Kiwis. Rowley. Big tackle. Baldwin brought to ground. This is good work. Good play, Rowley. Haig inside the New Zealand half. McAtee again. Working well this evening with Scott Martin from Lee. This is Scott Martin. Big tackle again. Simon Horton brought down. That's good work, Harris. Clever play, clips through, nice stuff. Races onto it, nearly regathers. Good work. Fifoa is the man to thwart that attack. Here's Henry. Elusive run, this. Oh, well inside the Lancashire half of the field. Eventually brought to ground by Paul Rowley. Danger here. Lima brought down. Bean offers a pass to Kelamete. Good defensive work coming in from Lancashire. Bean again sees a space, moves into it, flicks the ball to his wingman, Chan. Centre Vicona starting the operation, playing the ball to Vagana. Vagana moving forward, loses it. Good defensive work from Lancashire. So, a couple of metres from their own line. And play taken out to approaching the 20, Richard Shield. Makes some good ground, well outside the 20-metre mark now. This is John McAtee, good ball. Oh. Horton. McAtee. And Scott Walker trying to make some ground, but dealt with by Fatialufa. Well, more promising, ball goes to ground, unfortunate. John McAtee trying to seize on that opportunity to break free. The linesman has seen an infringement. He will inform the referee of the problem. And the referee will duly call out. He'll call out Richard Shield. So, a word or two in Richard's ear. Well, he's being sin-binned. Or, well, it seems he's going to the blood bin. Do beg your pardon, that wasn't a yellow card that was held up. He's taken a knock, and the referee and linesman quick to seize on that problem. I must say I didn't see any infringements in the tackle and was somewhat curious as to what the problem was. But we're sorted out, back with the action now. This is Nick Bean. Fatialofa couldn't gather the slippery conditions starting to affect the New Zealand side. Hope. So nobody really racing onto the ball at any pace at this point for the Lancashire side. And consequently, not much yardage being made. So the possession is given over to the New Zealand side, not playing the ball correctly. So Mr. Grimshaw suggests. And danger again for Lancashire. Swan. This is Kelamete. Bean awaits. Nice ball. Raced onto by Fatialofa. Good defensive work coming in. A tackle from Glyn Davis, St Helens Academy and Alliance team player. But danger here as the Kiwis start to assert some authority. Good break forward from Niveo. This is Bean. Sweeping play out to the right flank. This is Brown. And again, good cover defence coming in for Lancashire. Well, a little awry that one. Henry kicks through. And the referee is going to halt play here. Let's offer the ball to Lancashire. Let's give Lancashire an opportunity now to move forward. Some relief, I would have thought. Well, a little bit untidy, it must be said. And again, danger in the shape of Vilay Calamete. Bean. This is Vagana, back to Bean. And Nuveo trying to get over the line there, but look at that defence. Determined. Oh, strong play this. Wonderful, wonderful play from Faifoa. Immense strength to fling off the tacklers. And again, lovely ball. Oh, almost. Fatialofa almost getting over. Danger here, Bien. Well, that really is marvellous defence coming in from Lancashire. They have survived a considerable amount of pressure. And away comes John Roper. Very lively, very pacey. And again, encouraging signs for the Lancashire Academy under some immense pressure for a period of time there. This is Horton taking play up now. We're approaching the halfway mark. Rowley, McAtee. Good turn, McAtee again. Inside the Kiwi half. Has he taken a knock? Play continues. Out to Scaife. Good ball. Scott Martin. Inside. Oh, didn't quite come off. Perilously close to the touchline. The linesman certainly could see clearly that he stayed in the field of play, but unfortunate that the pass couldn't be gathered by Simon Baldwin. So, 9 minutes in, 49 on the clock, Lancashire 6, New Zealand 14, and we really do have a very entertaining encounter here this evening. Play continues. Good tackle, Naveu brought down, wonderful stuff coming in from Davis. McAtee, Martin, couldn't free the ball, wrapped up in a big way by Gus Brown. McAtee, clever. Martin Hope, one of Wigan's prodigies. Oh, well, he got away with that one. Suspect, it must be said, well, caught the second time. I suppose justice prevailing there. Wainwright knocks on, and a pleasing period of play there for the Lancashire side, offering some offence and showing some determination, some passion, some commitment. So play brought away from that scrum. John McAtee affecting the tackle. New Zealand now can offer some offence. This is Alex Chan.
Number 16, Glenn Davis, replacing number 12, Simon Hall.
Simon Walker, a witness player, prop forward, leaves the action. Glenn Davis involved. McAtee. Good work coming in from Harris. Lovely play. Oh, Glyn Davis, let's go. Keeping the play going here, the Lancashire side. Rowley. And eventually brought to ground, but certainly promising signs. Rowley kicking through, offside. So if the Kiwis are put under pressure, they certainly are a team that can be breached. A defensive line can be breached. They proved it a little earlier, certainly in the first half, when a pleasing move ended up with Simon Horton knocking on in a very good attacking position. So a penalty, and it seems that Aston Harris is going to have another pot at goal. So this will be 4 out of 4. It will make the score 8 points to 14, just 6 points in arrears then. 52 on the clock, setting up this one very nicely indeed, Ron.
Yes, Neil, he shouldn't have any problem. Aston Harris right in front of the sticks, as you say. It'll be his 4th. And it'll just be a converted try in between the two teams. No disgrace from Lancashire tonight, even though very unfortunate with some of the moves. But a strong side there, and obviously an awesome side as Harris pops it over. 14-8 the score, as you just prophesied, Neil.
New Zealand 14.
Especially with Hull being drubbed 72-2. Obviously with that record, coming here to Nosey Road to take on the Lancashire outfit. No problem with these Lancashire lads, tough as teak. Get things going, as I said, these half-backs, Martin and McAtee, trying to make the job tick. Big forwards running strong, Wainwright and Baldwin. Baldwin got over the whitewash, but unfortunately a knock-on was ruled. Captain Henry Paul to get the action going again. A deep kick, centre field, taken cleanly. The rain seems to have relented a little. But I suppose this is what we're used to over here in Lancashire, getting lots of rain, drowned, the usual thing. And the Kiwis, no strangers to the rain. They get the old monsoon-type climate over there, don't they? But they're penalised this time for offside. McAtee wants to play it quickly. The ball will be given to Harris, I think, for the extra yardage. Another substitution going to be made on the Lancashire side. Rob Scaife coming off, and Andy Craig going to be introduced.
And a substitution for Lancashire. Number 14 and Australia replacing
So the kick finds touch just short of the halfway line. Rowley restarts, prop forward, Scott Walker drives the ball up. New Zealand man brought out for over exuberant tackling. The wingman there, Peter Lima, just being spoken to. Well, the captain coming up again, and obviously the captain has to be told of what's going on, but high tackle there. But Henry Paul, he's come up and he's been having quite a bit of tete-a-tete with the referee, Paul Grimshaw. And he's taken quite a lot of him tonight, referee Grimshaw. Prop forward there, Richard Shield, as Neil said, one of the exciting players in the academy. Strong, bustling runner, good goal kicker. Glyn Davis takes the ball centre field. Lancashire moving it down. McAtee moves it left. Scott Martin, he tries to get things underway. The Kiwis come in, tighten it up, with the ball's released on the far side. Andy Haig, I think it is. The ball's still going. Lancashire throwing it about, trying to put the Kiwis under pressure. This is what it's all about. They've a chance for scoring now. Moving it over to the right, straightened up. Oh, just unlucky there. Well, the ball played on. A long pass out there from Wainwright. Lancashire couldn't take it. The Kiwi man touched it there, Maliatoa Brown, and then it was hacked on by Baldwin. The referee blew up. I think he must be blowing up either for the a knock-on or the injury. The Kiwi physio just coming on now and treating the man. Judging by the formation, we're going to have a scrum down. So the Kiwi player being treated. Running repairs, but a good display there by Lancashire. Best attacking display of the second half. 16 minutes gone of the second half. Just Lancashire on the board with a penalty goal, reducing the deficit to 14 points to 8. Maliator Brown received the treatment. He's up and about now. It's a feed to the Kiwis. Good, promising attack by Lancashire, and let's see if they can contain the Kiwis in their own 20-metre area for the remainder of this 6. Lima running crossfield. The tackling will have to be firm and hard and fair. Shield quickly in along with Scott Martin. But good yardage made there for Garner. Score of 2 tries, driving the ball up, and good running from this Kiwis outfit. They move it on the blind side. Alex Chan, right winger. And it looks as though the Kiwis are going to introduce at least one substitution to the game, or one substitute to the game. The number 17, Brian Hanari, down below us, as a high kick peppered up. Well, Yestin Harris couldn't field it correctly. And, well, the captain there, he's having something to say again, Henry Paul. The ball was peppered up high. Paul came through onto Yestin Harris, who was penalised for being offside. He spoke out a turn to the referee, he was duly penalised. And here's the first of the substitutions. Henare coming on for Wipu. Lots of promise from the Lancashire side in the second half, I feel, Neil. And maybe we'll get a score.
Certainly, Ron, looking very promising indeed. Early on in the game, one thought that this Kiwi side may run riot, but the Lancashire lads have offered determination and a fair bit of commitment. And here's Glyn Davis taking play inside the New Zealand half of the field. And they're really getting a taste for this one now. This is Rowley. Nice ball out to Wainwright. Wainwright losing it. Unfortunate. Faifoa capitalising on the error. This is Behan. Well, the relieving kick coming in from Behan, and it is kicked with some accuracy deep into the Lancashire Academy's 20-metre line. And again, all the attacking endeavour, all the movement is pushed right back into the 20. So a tactical kicking game being employed by the Kiwis. Keep the pressure up the other end of the field. Harris is brought down. McAtee will feature. This is Glyn Davis. Well-timed ball. Martin offering the ball out to Andy Craig, another Wigan representative. This is Martin Hope, also from Wigan. Rowley, good ball. Scott Walker is brought to ground. Rowley will feature again. Sees some space, offers the ball to Baldwin. Rowley flicks it back. We're going to have the kick coming in from Harris. Well, knock on. Oh, yeah. And Paul Henry wasn't too happy about that, but I don't think there was any question whatsoever that that was a clear knock-on. So, a very positive position for the Lancashire Academy to commence an assault. McAtee, Haig, still going, good play. Centre field, 10 metres out. McAtee, John Roper. Oh, good work. Ah, well. A little bit unfortunate. But it will be a kick out from under the posts, and Lancashire can resume this offence. And without question, coming more and more into this one. The confidence increasing, the self-belief, and the crowd playing its part also. Quite an exciting phase of the match, this. Steve Barrow has taken to the field. Martin Hope, it seems, has left. And Steve Barrow is the son of St Helens Alliance team coach Frank Barrow. So that'll be a good sign, a good thing for Frank. See his son representing the Lancashire side. Rope up. Shield. Oh, strong work coming in. Wainwright, good break. Hotting up nicely, this one. Here's McAtee. Lovely ball. Oh! Barrow almost making the line. Wonderful stuff. McAtee, we're in. Oh, yeah. It really did have to come. Simon Baldwin with the score. It's been on the cards for some minutes. St Helens players playing a part in this one. And Lancashire are back in the match. John McAtee featuring in that move. John McAtee has been buzzing round all evening. Glyn Davis playing his part. The list goes on. And certainly the Lancashire side, now full of confidence, will be motivated. And the final 18 minutes of this one are going to be very, very exciting indeed. Lancashire now 12, New Zealand 14, and we have an enthralling game on our hands this evening. The New Zealanders have been weakening slowly but surely as this second half has progressed. They've not looked as sharp. The Lancashire side have realised, seized on it, and they're back in it. Harris, so far, so good. And if he puts this one over, I'm quite sure there'll be a fair cheer from the main stand. Oh, yeah. Wonderful stuff. Excellent kick-up, excellent conversion, online, 14 each, and we have 16 minutes to go, and well, big stuff. Really big game, this one now. Wonderful, determined effort coming in from the Lancashire Academy. And away we go again. Try scorer Baldwin brought to ground. Andy Haig picks up, moves forward. Good run, Haig. And the crowd now certainly getting involved in affairs. McAtee. Well, Steve Barrow not being allowed to get away with that. A little bit untidy. This will give New Zealand, offer New Zealand some relief. And the kick for goal is the suggestion from Henry Paul. This, of course, would put them 2 points ahead, but it's some way out, fairly central. So I'm quite sure Henry Paul will take some time over this. He'll settle himself, step back, have a look at the angle, assess the weighting of the kick, moves in. Well, that really was never anywhere near going over the posts. Big cheer from the crowd, and Lancashire come away with the ball. Scott Walker. This is Glyn Davis. Good defence from Kelamete. McAtee there. That's Rowley. A little bit untidy. Ball eventually gathered. This is McAtee. Nice ball. Well, we're still going here. Brilliant break, Andy Craig. Oh, he had McAtee in support, couldn't feed. But the New Zealand side under some pressure now. Lovely fluent play. Baldwin. Harris. Oh, a little bit too much. Andy Haig Wood certainly was in some space there. The pass a little exuberant, and New Zealand can relax just a touch.
Yes, New Zealand under the cosh there, Neil. Substitute Andy Craig hurrying down the wing here. Very unlucky. McAtee was with him, but just couldn't squeeze it out. They tried to spread it right across, and unfortunately the ball going into touch. But it puts the Kiwis under pressure. They are in possession of the ball. They're just on their own 20-metre line. Brilliant try earlier on from Baldwin. Some sustained pressure by Lancashire, and a good break now by the Kiwis. The man will have to be brought down. Solid tackling there, the order of the day. Richard Shield involved. Kiwis break it quickly. Vacona driving it up. Well, that's a knock forward, but Lancashire come up with ball possession, do they? Yes, they do. Excellent try there earlier, as I said, from Simon Baldwin. Been outstanding in the second row for Lancashire. All the Lancashire lads have played the part, and in my opinion, Baldwin, he should have been on a hat-trick. Been over the whitewash a couple of times, but been brought back for infringements. Paul Rowley now making good yardage. You can see the concern, or you can hear the concern. Obviously, the Kiwis just below us, the coaching staff and the other lads in the squad trying to G the side up. Baldwin there driving it forward. 14 points apiece. The game finally poised. 12 minutes remaining. McAtee, the Lancashire captain, trying to work his magic. He gets the ball away. Lancashire bring it on the short side. Good drive there, and a good ball there to Craig. Andy Craig, last tackle of the sequence now. Rowley taking up the acting half-back position. On to McAtee. Back to Harris. He'll have to chip it. He does so. He tries to follow it up. He gets possession. Inside. Oh, McAtee's in. Is the try given? Oh, he's bounced it. Oh, dear me. Well, he did bounce it. There's no danger about that. But a golden opportunity there, going a begging for Lancashire there, and that would have put the nail in the Kiwis' coffin. It's still all to play for. Oh, but a chance there. Lovely ball inside. McAtee, all he had to do was take it cleanly, unfortunately. I mean, it's all right for us up here saying it, but the lads are down there on the pitch, and these things happen, don't they? But he couldn't take it cleanly, just lost control as he went to touch it down. The referee looked at the touch judge, and he said it was bounced. He was correct on that occasion. Oh, solid tackling there. Glyn Davis moves in, bounces the man to the ground. Maliatoa Brown, he felt the full force of that tackle. It's up now to Lancashire to not let the heads drop. Get all play together. Regroup and withstand the onslaught, because the Kiwis are coming again. 10 minutes remaining. Lofted ball, quick hands, the order of the day by the Kiwis. Maliatoa Brown out to the wingman Lima, but he's lost possession. The ball's gone into touch. Solid tackling, end-to-end stuff there. Lancashire nearly scoring at one end. Then the Kiwis coming back and brought down within 10 metres of the Lancashire line. McAtee to feed. The Kiwis push. Lancashire have possession. Fafo going in enthusiastically there, along with Nuvayo. Glyn Davis just taking a knock there as standoff half. Scott Martin makes good yardage. The referee urges the Kiwis to get back on side, and Lancashire charge again. Good driving run, Mike Wainwright. Blindside ploy there. The hooker there, Paul Rowley, chips it through, finds touch. 10 metres inside the Kiwis half. It's going to be a scrum down, Kiwis feed. 14 points apiece, 9 minutes of the game remaining. Obviously you can hear the concern, as I said, the Kiwis supporters and other players in the squad getting behind them, trying to lift the side. I suppose after beating Hull 72-2, they expected to come here and walk over this Lancashire side. But obviously incurring a lot of the referee's wrath in the first half with Lancashire. But he's let the game flow pretty quickly. In the second half, Kiwis won the ball at the feed. They knocked on, and now Lancashire have the chance now, and they must turn this possession into points. Solid driving run will be the order of the day. Glyn Davis taking the ball up now. McAtee, inside ball, losing it at the second tackle. I don't think it was meant there for Steve Barrow. It bounced off his chest. McAtee was moving it to the right, then he turned it back inside. Well, a mistake there by the Kiwis. It's going to be a knock-on. It's going to be a scrum down with the Lancashire feed. And let's hope they can get this ball, get it cleanly for the remainder of these 6 tackles and drive it up towards the Kiwi posts and record a memorable win here at Nosey Road. Nothing more than they deserve. Kiwis have scored 2 tries to 1. They have possession now, do Lancashire. Standoff half, Scott Martin takes the ball up. Another 5 tackles now to make it count. Harris attacked in half-back. He tries to go on his own. He's quickly snuffed out. Rowley now. Lancashire, well, Rowley, one-man rugby, unfortunately, going forward. Let the ball do the work, spread it out. They've put some good touches together this evening. But there again, Wainwright being brought down. The drop goal attempt, is it, from Harris? Well, it's gone to the left. Perhaps just lacking a little bit of idea there where they should have been putting pressure on these Kiwis. They had them on the rack. 20 metres, 30 metres from their own line, and just looking a bit lackluster, the lack of ideas. It now gives the Kiwis a restart from the centre of the 20-metre line. And what are we talking about, Neil? The last 7 or 8 minutes looking good for Lancashire there. Obviously, we need possession. They've got to withstand this Kiwi onslaught. Hopefully get more possession and put it into points, haven't they?
Certainly, Ron. I mean, we said at the start of the show that we were going to be assessing the progress made by the English-British Academy, whatever you may call it. And I think this has proven that we are well on our way. Closing 6 minutes of this one, perfectly poised. And a marvellous, marvellous advert for Academy Rugby League. Henry. And a knock-on. St Helens, Lancashire will come away with the ball now. It's McAtee. Harris, back to McAtee. Davis, up to the halfway mark. It's Paul Rowley. McAtee again. Good work. Oh, wonderful break this from Baldwin. McAtee sees a gap inside. Lovely ball. John Roper eventually halted. McAtee drop goal attempt. Oh, Well, it did go over, but Fifoa got a hand to it, it seems, and a possible match-winning drop goal from John McAtee is cancelled out. 5 minutes remain in this one. What a finale. Scrum down, Lancashire feed. John McAtee will start this operation. Goes in. Referee not happy. Let's have another go, shall we? Oh, McAtee couldn't gather. Knocked on. And John McAtee not at all happy about that. But you win some, you lose some. So, New Zealand now. Henry, ball out wide to Lima, inside the Lancashire half. Substitute Dean Johnson in support. The play the ball was untidy, to say the least. So Lancashire now can offer some offence. Harris gains 15 metres. Play starting up with Rowley. McAtee involved. Richard Shield. And again McAtee. Martin. Defence coming in from Swan and Nuveo. McAtee again. Inching closer and closer. Another drop goal attempt, perhaps. McAtee. This is Barrow. Held up. Ball flicked back. Harris. Oh, plenty of space. Oh, good play, Harris. Oh, the final pass. Not quite what it should have been. Andy Haig was in support, but wonderful break coming in from the Lancashire player. Well, slight indiscipline. What will the referee decide? Well, he decides that the ball was pulled out of the New Zealanders' hands. Debatable. Good pace, wonderful pace offered there by Vicona. Henry, danger here for Lancashire. Henry's still going, ball out wide. Oh, well, if Gus Brown could have kept his feet. Oh, it seems he's picked up an injury. That's most unfortunate. He would certainly have been in for the match-winning score. As it is, they're still on the offensive. Bean. This is Kelamete. Bean again. Johnson. So, scrambling defence in the final minute. Oh, almost an interception. And they keep it alive here with Manny Era. Bean. Nuveo. Some space. Henry. And that will be the turnover, I think. Oh. Well, would you believe it? The referee has given a penalty for an alleged stiff arm, it seems. And that will give Henry the opportunity to achieve the spoils for the New Zealanders What a shame for the Lancashire Academy.
Yes, Neil, a very harsh decision there. He's given a penalty for a high tackle right in front of the sticks. But I think this player's been injured over here by corner. I think it's the centre that's been injured. He's receiving treatment on the touchline. The substitute was put on straight away, Manny Hura, and without the referee's consent, it's got to be brought to the referee's attention that the substitute's coming on. He's on there, that shouldn't be allowed. And now Henry Paul with a chance to put the kick over, which he does so. And we've played a minute and 20 minutes of stoppage time. Very lucky to come away with the win here. I think they're very lucky altogether, the Kiwis tonight, Neil.
We can take solace in the fact that the Lancashire Academy have played their part in this most entertaining encounter. The gap is closing. Just 2 points in it. Injury time being played. The referee, Mr. Grimshaw, decides that's all we've got time for. A very, very pleasing performance from the Lancashire Academy. Early on, it looked as though we may have problems. The Kiwis came out on fire. Lancashire were never given any real opportunities to come forward in the first half. Second half, different story. Some good play, some fluent play, plenty of pace and strength. And all that settled it at the end of the match was a penalty by team captain Henry Paul in the final minute. So, plenty to be enthusiastic about. The Lancashire Academy have put up a marvellous show. It's been played in a wonderful spirit, this one, and we look forward to seeing the Kiwis continue the tour. So we've just seen the most compelling affair here at Knowsley Road this evening. The Lancashire Academy very nearly achieving the spoils in a most pulsating affair. 14 points to 16. At the end of the day, that was just a bridge too far for the Lancashire Academy. With me now is Charlie McAllister. Charlie, tremendous game.
Ah, fantastic. Very, very fast game. I mean, we get taught in the programs for us to play the balls down, but those guys are absolutely super fast on both sides.
The improvement in the academy scene in Britain is evident, I would have thought.
Oh, it's moving up big time. It's moving very, 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 very quickly. I mean, you've got the coaches who are qualified coaches, so you see the work and the blokes are putting in tonight. The pitch was great.
What is the situation over in New Zealand as far as bringing through these youngsters? Because there's certainly some talent, isn't there?
Oh, it's amazing talent over there. They have some, as you probably saw tonight. I mean, in the first half, or the first 20 minutes, look, the Kiwi lads are very, very strong. But again, it's an 80-minute game, and the longer the game went, the young lads, the Lancashire side come into it and they finish extremely strong.
The first test match, of course, is going to be at Wembley. That's going to be a really exciting day for the New Zealanders and indeed the Great Britain lads. How do you see that one going?
Well, I think at the moment, the way things are going, these guys are training twice together, eat and sleep and train together and have a good time together. You know, they're over here for 5 or whatever weeks it is, but it's going to be really, really tough. But I couldn't really call it at the moment. But I mean, you look at the best of each country at that age group. So I think it'd be some unbelievable, it'd be a great spectacle for the fans. It'd be great.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. Cheers.
No problem, mate.
So we now look forward to more Kiwi Tour action. They move on and take on the likes of Wigan, Warrington, a Yorkshire side, and of course the big first test match at Wembley Stadium. A wonderful occasion this evening, a final score of Lancashire 14, New Zealand 16. Thank you very much indeed for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.